Okay, so looking at expressing a number as a power, how would I express -3 times -3 times -3 as a power? Yes. -3 cubed. Excellent. Now, notice that I put my base, everyone look here please, in brackets. It's this whole thing, all of -3 to the power of 3, right? Because I'm writing -3 3 times. There's a difference between that and this question. Oops, sorry. How would you express this as a power? Did anyone figure this one out? Okay. This is the repeated multiplication, correct? How many times is the number 6 being repeated? 5 times. And it's a positive or negative 6 that's being repeated. A positive 6. So I need to include this negative sign. It's negative, and then I'm repeating 6 to the power of 5. That's how you would write that, okay? In this question, your result will be negative. This negative symbol is telling you that the whole power is negative when you simplify it, okay? How would I evaluate 10 to the power 5? I want you to actually tell me what the solution is. 10 to the power 5 is equal to what? 10,000. Good. 10,000. No? 100,000. Not 10,000. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. Now look at B. What do you notice about the base? Look here, please, boys. For B, the base is what? Positive or negative? So I'm actually multiplying -10. How many times? Good. What do you think the result will be, a positive or a negative? Raise your hand if you think the answer will be positive. Who thinks it will be negative? Yes, how do you know? It's an odd number of negatives, exactly. This exponent is an odd number. We have a negative and a negative, which is another negative and a negative, which is, now we have a positive, and a negative. Positive and negative is negative. So it's negative 100,000. Excellent. Raise your hand if you think C will have a negative answer. Raise your hand if you think the answer for C is positive. Who thinks the answer is negative? Yes. Remember, this is the power. There's no brackets, but it's a negative power. So it's going to be negative. When we evaluate this, it's still 100,000. It's still negative 100,000. D is a little different. Look here, please. Everyone's eyes over here. We're going to start with keeping this on the outside. We have negative. I'm going to evaluate this. As we've just done repeatedly, what's -10 to the power of 5? It's over here. What's -10 to the power of 5? Yes. Negative 100,000. But don't forget that we have to include this negative sign in front of the bracket, right? So what happens when we have a negative and a negative put together? So the answer is a positive 100,000. Raise your hand if you got positive for the last one. Negative 5 to the power of 3 will be negative 125. B. Yes, negative 125. Again, it's the same answer. C. Yes. 7,807. Like that? Good. And D. We can turn this into a decimal. What's 3 divided by 5? Good. So we can represent this as 0.6 to the power of 5. What's 0.6 to the power of 5? Now this is easy to evaluate. Yep. 9.6. It's not 9.6. It's a decimal. So it's 0.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.